What's going on, guys? Jacoby Kendrick here, the BJJ Realtor. Just wanted to take a couple of minutes to sit down and chat with you, see how you guys are doing, what's going on. And we're still in the coronavirus, COVID-19 quarantine. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes to talk about kind of what I'm doing for training during this time, because it's all in unprecedented times, crazy. Uh, Nothing like this has ever happened before. And so, what are you doing? What are you doing to stay sharp? What are you doing to keep your game going? So, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about a little bit. I looked the other day, it has been 30 days since I've actually been on the mats at the academy training. So, last time I was there was 30 days ago. That's a long time. I'm definitely missing it, missing seeing all of my coaches, professors, and then also training partners as well. Uh, just being on the mats just kind of does something for you, right? Every day. And so, but here's kind of what I'm doing right now. I've kind of broken it down into two uh, topics, two subjects. One is like offline training, or um, yeah, I guess I'd call it offline training. The other is like online training, mental training. And so, as far as offline training, I've got four training partners in my house, right? So, I've got my wife and I've got my three kids that also do jujitsu as well. And so, they're all white belts. I myself am a blue belt, got my blue belt back in September of 2019. They're all white belts. My kids are 7, 5, and 3. My 3-year-old, she doesn't really do much at the moment anymore. Classes are kind of long for her, so she does good for like half the class. The other half of the class, she's like flopping around on the ground, and sometimes they end up having to kick her out of the class. Anyway, so those are my training partners. So my 5-year-old, he absolutely loves jujitsu. He loves doing anything and everything jujitsu. So me and him are always rolling around, doing stuff. He's constant pressure, so it actually kind of helps me. He's real light, but I still like practice shrimping and getting into positions and all that. And then he's working on his rear naked choke, working on his mount, working on his arm bar from mount, those sorts of things. So he's actually someone that I can actually kind of work with. Even though he's not my size, you can still do make some movements with him, and he loves doing it. Like, he will go all day, every day, until I basically tell him that we got to stop, that I'm tired. He'll just keep going and going and going and going. So it's good. And then with my wife, we do some partner drills together. So Toriando drills, arm drag drills, like all the normal drills that you do in class, just making sure that we're keeping the basics and the techniques and all that going. She's kind of new to the jiu-jitsu game, but she's real athletic. She's actually really good for just like starting. I can't remember how long she's been doing jiu-jitsu, but really good. Especially for, like I said, for just starting. And so those are like my partners that I roll with. So doing that, we'll do partner drills, like I said. Plus my academy, they're still doing online classes, and so we'll do whatever techniques or whatever drills that they have for the class as well. So, breaking guard, going on for the pass, multiple different kinds of passes, half guard attacks, close guard attacks, those sorts of things. So just doing the basics and staying sharp on those, because in all actuality, like, those are the actual things that actually help you win, are the basics. Like, all the other stuff, like getting all advanced and all that, is good as well, but the basics are the key. Like, whenever I'm going through watching a lot of videos and interviews and stuff now too, and the basics are what the best concentrate on, and that's what's making them successful. So working on that stuff. So those are kind of the things that we're doing. So I'm working out with my family, my training partners, those four training partners that I have. Partner drills are online classes, and then also doing solo drills as well. And so there's a tiger routine. I think it's called the tiger routine that University of Jiu-Jitsu does, the Hibero brothers do. My professor has come out with basically like a warm-up and some solo drills to do that you can do as well. So I'm doing that as well. And then, just the standard stuff like shrimping, technical stand up, forward rolls, backward rolls, shoulder rolls. And I just mix those in everywhere I go. Sometimes I just do them before I warm up, before me and my wife do something, or I'll do those before I do like a weightlifting session. Just working all of that stuff in, making sure staying limber. Now, the one thing that I do need to do more of is stretching. I don't really stretch that much, and so I need to do more stretching. But all of those drills and solo drills, just doing all the time. Shrimping, like I said, shrimping, rolls, forward rolls, backward rolls, technical stand up, going to like butterfly, like rolling on your back, one leg up. All of those things are good drills to do, and those are the kind of the drills that I'm just continuing to do to just build those motor patterns, to get better at those motor patterns. And then the other thing that I'm doing is also like the online work, or like the mental work, right? So watching a lot of matches, like pro matches, gi and no gi, a lot of gi and no gi matches. And the people that I'm watching are the people that my professor have recommended. So he will often send our team, or he'll send myself like videos of individuals that we need to watch. And most of the videos that he sends are videos of guys that might have a game that's similar to ours, or a technique that we need to work on. And so I've just been watching videos of those guys in different positions that I feel like I need to work on. So one of the positions that I'm specifically working on right now is like, once you pass the guard and you get into half guard, like, where do you go from there? Do you stand up and pass? Do you stay on the knees and pass? Is it pressure passing? As you step back, Toriando, step back, leg drag, that sort of thing. And so I'm just watching those videos and watching how the greats, how they move in and out of those positions. And so that's kind of what I'm going through. And then just seeing the intricate details, like, where do they put their feet? Like, how are they positioning their body? Where's their body weight at? How are they positioning their opponent? Are they putting them on their side? Are they flat on their back? Are they transitioning from one side to the other side? Are they putting them on this hip and then going to the other hip and cutting across? Like, all of those things, all those details are kind of the things that I'm trying to look at in order to better develop my game. And then so watching other folks, and then I'm also going over my matches as well. So like, we just had a tournament last month in Houston, so I'm going over those matches. I actually lost a match in the Open finals, so I've been going over that match, looking at mistakes that I made there. The guy took my back, so looking at how do I keep a guy from taking my back? What do I do once he gets on my back? What were some of the transitions I could have made? I was using too much strength, using way too much strength, trying to overpower the guy. The guy outweighed me probably by 40, 50 pounds. Just doesn't work, right? So just kind of going over those things. And then with that as well, went back to No-Gi Worlds, watched those videos on Flow. Even though I won those matches, there were a lot of things that I could have done better, to have done better in those matches as well. So I've just been going through all of my matches. And then lastly, well, not lastly, just also getting mental reps as well. So just thinking back to training sessions that I've had with some of my training partners in class, starting out, how some, rounds have gone, what would I have done, what should I have done, and then looking at techniques that I would be thinking about doing, and how to transition into those techniques as well. And then lastly, I'm watching some instructionals. So I've got some instructional, content, BJJ Fanatics. It's funny because there's just so much stuff out there right now that you can look at. But the things that I'm looking at are things that are complementary to my game, and things that I said, like, also that my professor has said that I should be looking at as well. So whenever I look at instructionals, I look at people that are either like in my professor's lineage, or he's mentioned them like in classes or something like that, because then that way I know I'm at least getting the same thought process and the same techniques that he's going to be teaching in class. And so I'm not going and picking somebody that I just saw on TV or just saw on the internet, but I'm actually picking folks that are like congruent with what we're learning at our academy, what my professor believes, and that way they all kind of mesh together. And really, I think that's it. Oh, one thing I am focusing on, like I do have a couple of instructionals with leg locks, the leg lock game, and it's not because I'm interested in like doing leg locks or having a ton of leg lock attacks, but more and more guys are working on working on leg locks, and they're getting good at them. And so I just want to know them, and I want to understand the concepts, so whenever I get into a position, I know exactly how to defend it, and I know how to get out of that attack, easily and simply. Because I think that's the way a lot of things are going. A lot of guys are working on that, and if you have no clue what's going on, like that's the part that tears you up. Like if you don't know which way to roll whenever they get you in one of these locks, or you don't know what to do to defend it, like that's when you get yourself in trouble. And so even if you're not going to use it, you still need to know how to defend it and to work through it. So those are kind of the things that I'm doing. Be interested to hear what you guys are doing during the COVID-19 crisis. Hopefully all this will be over soon. Like saying like the beginning of May, end of April, things will be over, but who knows? Things change like every day. You see something different like every single day. But the key point is that you continue to get better, keep your mind fresh, and keep your group small. Find you a training partner that you know is safe. Keep your group small and keep working at it. All right. See you guys later.